Now, normally I'm not a big fan of beef. I tend to like chicken and fish more, but I do have a few dishes that I make that uses beef. And today I'm gonna teach you how to make Belizean stewed beef and okra, or if you're from Belize, you know it as Okro. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. So I picked up a little bit of premium beef stew. We're going to get it out of the pack in a little while. We're going to make some stewed beef and okra. You know, when I was in Belize, it was called Okro. But over here in America, everybody says okra. So, you know how they say it, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I have my spices that I'm going to make here. Onion, cilantro, some jalapeno peppers because I don't have my little yellow ones today. Some garlic that already come minced in a jar. And here's our okra. And I got the frozen one this time because I didn't have time to go out and get the fresh ones. But we're going to get these items right here put in the magic bullet. We're going to make a marinade to put on top of the beef. So let me get the beef open. It's not a whole lot. We don't make a lot of beef in here because we're mostly a lot of chicken people. But sometimes you get all chickened out. And so you want some beef. And these are nice enough sized chunks that I don't think I'm going to have to cut them any smaller. But I'm sure you could take like a fat piece like this and cut it in two if you want to. But we're going to leave it like this. Pour trusted distilled white vinegar on top of it. I'm going to get it to the sink, get it washed off. And then when I come back, I'm going to be adding our marinade to it. I'm going to put powder ricotta on this one this time. I'm kind of running low on my other ricotta. I have to get some from my dad. So some powder ricotta, some black pepper. You notice I'm very generous on the black pepper because we like our stuff kind of spicy. Some salt. And then let me go to my magic bullet for my marinade. So here's our marinade: cilantro, garlic, onions, jalapeno. Just pour it over this. And you know what? If you're making this meal and you don't want this marinade, you can totally omit this. You don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing. You could just have salt, black pepper, and ricotta, and this beef will still taste good. So this is all seasoned. You can leave this overnight if you want it to soak in, but we're not kind of overnight people here. We tend to, whatever we prepare, we tend to cook right away. So I have the pot on the stove, and I'm going to put some oil in it, get it hot, and we're going to get this stewed beef started. I put 2 tablespoons of canola oil in the 6-quart pot, my little trusted 6-quart pot. See, I don't put a lot of oil because this is one of those non-stick pot. And here's our stuff waiting for us, our beef in the marinade. And we're going to start it now because the oil is hot enough. See how hot our pot is? We're going to get all the pieces in, okay? I got all the pieces of the beef in the pot right now. I have the fire on high, and we're just going to let it brown on both sides first before we add the rest of the marinade. Afterwards, it's just going to be adding water a little bit at a time to allow the beef to cook. Well, our beef looks good so far. We don't know if this is a old one, a fresh one, and you know, when you get it from the grocery store, you don't really know. So we started it off, it's brown. We're going to add the rest of the marinade from the ricotta to it. And what we're going to do for a few hours at least, because we don't know how quickly it's going to get soft, we're going to continue to put just plain water to this every time it fries and get what I call as angry, like an angry pot, and it fries so that it won't burn. We'll put a little bit of water to quiet it down like this, and we'll just continuously do that until we can test the beef to see if it's soft. So we'll be checking back on this beef like every 15 or 20 minutes or so, or if we hear it fry quicker. It's been about 15 minutes later, and this is the angry pot sound that I'll tell you about. So you want to add water to it so that it doesn't burn. You don't want to drown it like if you're making a soup. Just a little bit of water. It's going to sound a little bit angry then if you move it around. And so basically you want to keep this monitored for as long as it takes for this beef to cook and get soft. It's been about an hour into the process of cooking the beef, and I've added water about 3 times within that hour. And I have a feeling this has another 2 hours to go. You can also put this in the crock pot, but I don't do it in the crock pot because Joe hates when beef is cooked in the crock pot because he swears it makes the beef become stringy and doesn't have the consistency that he likes. So we'll be checking back on this again. We're not going to put the okra in until about half hour before the beef is ready to be done. So the beef has to get soft first before we add the okra. So it's about 2.5 hours later with our beef. We had put the lid on about an hour, 15 minutes or so into it, so they could just get all the steam in there to cook. And look, it got all dirty, but that's okay. So we're gonna put the okra in, and this is just like a half a bag of frozen okra. And we're gonna allow this to cook for another half hour to 40 minutes to let the okra get soft and start in. When it's so soft, we're gonna be able to squish it against the edge of the pot like that with the pot spoon. Now this is how you test, first of all, to see if the beef is done. You get the serving fork and it has to be able to go through it. It's soft, just like the potatoes. Now look at the okra. See, I took the pot spoon and I came in here after it started getting soft and I just kind of squished it against the pot like that. And this is pretty much done. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 more minutes to let it cook down a little bit more into more of a stew. And another time what I'm going to teach you how to do is to do the beef soup with the okra in it. But this is actually stewed beef and okra. And I'm going to serve this up over a plate of white rice. You can also replace it with brown rice, but I'm going to show you the finished product as soon as I can get this off the stove. Here's the finished product. Stewed beef and okra over white rice. Beautiful. Beautiful. So you see how to make the stewed beef and okra, and I served it over white rice, but you can always make that dinner a little bit more healthy by serving it over brown rice and eating some vegetables with it. I hope you've enjoyed. Please tell me how your dish comes out. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Until I see you again, take care.